on, so then I had to go back in formation anyway. And I slid back over, and fortunately, I guess the gunners picked up the formation behind us. But I told the guys that night, I said, well, I saved your butt one more time. and,
How many
but
missions was
just something told me, the next shot's going to be right here, and it worked out that way. So later, after the war, my brother ran into my bombardier, and so he decided who was who, and he was telling my brother, I said, Lee was considered a lucky pilot, and he said when other people tried to get in my formation, because half of my tour I flew as lead pilot, leading a 12-plane formation, and I don't know if that was true or not, but because I never heard of it, but things did work out that way. Okay, well, D-Day was coming along, and I expected to be called for the morning mission, but as it turned out, they didn't call me. But they did call me, and I was assigned a formation-sized mission for about mid-morning of D-Day. And so I led the 12 airplanes on D-Day, and it was, by this time, the weather had cleared somewhat, and our altitude was about 14,000 or something. It wasn't terribly high, but you could see all the way from England to France. Most fantastic sight you could possibly imagine. I swear you could walk all the way to stepping on boats. There were the wakes, the 2 channels of wakes going across, and then right offshore was the biggest line of big boats. We'd never seen anything like that. About, maybe half a mile offshore. All these big boats shooting into the shore. And my target for that morning was at just on the north edge of the city of Cannes is the Orne River and a canal. And there's one bridge, big concrete bridge that spanned the canal and the bridge and the river. And that was my target. And so we bombed that. And later on, I was reading the book, the Cornelius Ryan's book on the longest day, and he was talking about the response of the German tanks to the attack. And they said that they had discovered there was an 8-mile gap between the Canadian and the British landing. So they wanted to get their tanks up there, and they could just roll up the beach. And but they couldn't get there because the roads were blocked. And they had to go back out of the town of Cannes and go around to the west and circle around. And by the time they did that, 3 hours or something, that's in his book, the British had landed anti-tank guns and stopped them. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I like to think that because I destroyed the bridges, I gave them another 3 hours so that they could stop them. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I feel good about it. So I finished my tour of 30 trips, and they gave me the choice of flying a war weary back to the States or coming back by boat. And then I found out, I asked what boat was it, and they said it's the Queen Elizabeth. So I said, I'll take the Elizabeth. So we come back in style.